Spice Math. That's right. We add it up, multiply it, man. Spice Math. Okay. A couple things we're gonna learn today. Spice Math. All right. Take some time, educate yourself. Spice Math. That's right. You won't believe it's just math. Come on.
Hi, I'm Ruth Doughton.
Hi, I'm Aaron Williams.
Hi, I'm Brandon Alexander.
Hi, I'm Kelvin Doughton.
Hello, I'm Lyndon Sincere.
We are your Spice Math tutors.
You won't believe it's just math. Just math.
Hi everyone, and welcome to Spice Math. Today we'll be looking at types of numbers. This topic will be most suitable for Form 1s and 2s. Objectives of today's lesson. After this lesson, you should be able to list the different types of numbers. You should be able to define each number type. You should also be able to identify the symbol for each number type where possible. Now we look at different types of numbers. We have natural numbers, whole numbers, integers, rational numbers, irrational numbers, real numbers. We'll also look at square numbers and triangular numbers. As you would see, the numbers have a symbol. Natural numbers, symbol N, whole numbers, symbol W, integers, symbol Z, rational numbers Q, irrational numbers Q prime, and real numbers R. Now to define the numbers that we just listed. Natural numbers. Natural numbers are counting numbers, and they're usually the first type of numbers you would come across. Natural numbers are whole numbers that are greater than 0. These numbers are numbers that can physically count. For example, 1, 2, 3, 4, and so on. Let's now look at whole numbers, symbol W. Whole numbers are numbers that do not need to be represented as a fraction or a decimal. Also, whole numbers cannot be negative. In other words, whole numbers are counting numbers and 0. Examples of whole numbers: 4, 952, 0, 734, 952, 73. Integers. Integers are whole numbers, both negative and positive, including 0. These numbers, examples: -3, -2, -1, 0, -2, 3, and so on, are integers. Where positive integers are integers greater than 0 or to the right of 0, and negative numbers, not surprisingly, are integers that are less than 0. We then have rational numbers. Rational numbers are numbers that can be written as a fraction, where both the numerator and the denominator are integers. However, the denominator cannot be 0. This means that both the top and the bottom of the fraction are whole numbers. Examples of these would be 3 divided by 4, or 23 divided by 7. We then have irrational numbers, symbol Q prime. Definition. Irrational numbers are numbers that can't be written as fractions. Example, pi, or the square root of 2. If we try to write these as decimals, they go on forever with no recurrent digits. square numbers. Square numbers are integers that can be written as the square of some other integer. Example, a product of an integer multiplied by itself. 2 multiplied by 2 gives you 4. 81 is also a square number. 9 multiplied by 9. Square numbers can also be written in the form 5 squared, which basically means 5 multiplied by 5 gives you 25. Triangular numbers. Triangular numbers are numbers whose sides can make an equilateral triangle dot pattern. Example, 1, 3, 6, 10, 15. As we can see, 3 can form dots. If you put 3 in the pattern of a dot, three dots forms an equilateral triangle. If I now add another row of dots, six, forming another equilateral triangle. And now I can add another row of dots. Now we have 10 dots also forming an equilateral triangle. We can then continue adding dots to go, and you may have 15 and 21. You can try this at home. Let's now talk about real numbers. Real numbers are all numbers that you have come across this far. All the rational numbers and irrational numbers. So examples, negative 0.23, 4, the square root of 2, 0, pi, 3 over 4, or even the square root of 5 are all real numbers. Now you give it a try. We can also represent real numbers, all real numbers, in the form of a Venn diagram. As you can see, natural numbers 1, 2, and 3 are inside of whole numbers. Example, all the natural numbers are whole numbers. You can then go on to integers, which now forms that bigger circle, and all natural numbers and whole numbers are integers. Then we have rational numbers. The set of natural numbers, whole numbers, and integers are rational numbers. We have irrational numbers that are a different type of numbers and are not rational numbers, so they are on the side on their own. If you can see that in the Venn diagram. And all of those make up the set of real numbers. Now we can summarize this in the form of a table. And the table that you see there says natural numbers are counting numbers. No decimals, fractions, or signs. Does not include 0. Examples, 1, 2, 3, 6, 26, 1,256 are all natural numbers. How would you remember this? What numbers do I use to count things? There are 36 desks in a class. There are 50 students in the classroom. Whole numbers. All of the counting numbers and zero. No fractions, decimals, or signs. So these would include 0, 1, 2, 3, and on and on. All of the numbers on the right side of the number line and 0 are whole numbers, integers. All of the counting numbers, 0, and the opposites, which means all positive and negative numbers without decimals, fractions, or radicals. So -2, -1, 0, 1, 2, and so on are all integers. So that would include all numbers on the number line. Rational numbers are all positive and negative numbers and fractions, as well as all decimals that end or repeat in a known value. Irrational numbers, however, any number that is not rational. Decimals that do not end or repeat, or radicals. Example, pi or square root of 5. Real numbers, all numbers except the square root of -1. For more practice, you can go to khanacademy.org and you can log in on the grade 8 page. I'm sure you'd find very good practice there. Thank you. And this was another episode of Spice Math. See you again next time.
You won't believe it's just math.